Welcome to my guide on hero movement. So I'm going to be going over MS, the number displayed in your hero icon, and how to apply it to the game. So first, MS, or movement speed, or it could be movement per second, because that's actually what it is. So MS is how far something will move in the game, how many units it will move for every second. So if you had a hero with 300 MS, he will move 300 units in the game for every second. So, again, 5 seconds at 300 MS, it means he's going to be moving 1500 units. You have heroes like Luna, the fastest hero in the game with the fastest base movement speed. She has 330 MS, so she'll move 50 units per second more than someone with 280 MS. And across 10 seconds, that's an extra 500 units more. And with Dota being such a position-dependent game, having that movement speed advantage could be the difference between a kill or a failed gank. So how can I apply this newly found knowledge to the game? Well, if you know how far they're going to travel in a certain amount of time, you can start to hit or plan ahead for those non-targeting delay cast time spells, and really start to nail down the mechanics of those. So, for instance, Invoker's infamous Sunstrike. There is a method behind the madness to landing these, so the delay is 1.7 seconds. So whenever you click it to cast, there's 1.7 seconds before it actually hits. If you have a hero that's moving at 350 MS, in 1.7 seconds, the max distance he can move is 595 units. So let's just call it 600. So 600 units. He cannot go farther than 600 units unless he has a force staff, something else helps him. But if he's just moving by himself, 600 units is the max he can travel in 1.7 seconds. If he's heading in a straight line, it makes it a lot easier. You just gauge out 600 units and put the Sunstrike there, and it will hit him every time. Of course, no one really moves in a straight line, they zigzag and stuff, but you can still apply this. So imagine a 600 AoE circle around the target you're trying to hit. He cannot move past that. And if you use some more deductive reasoning, if you're chasing him, he's not going to turn around and try to fight you to avoid Sunstrike because he'll die, right? So you can almost cut out that half of the circle, and then plop the Sunstrike in the forward direction. So even if he wants to juke, you have a higher chance of putting it inside that circle somewhere, and it'll hit him because he cannot move outside of that circle. That's the max distance he can move at his current MS. But 300, I use 350 MS because it's sort of the average MS for most heroes with brown boots. People get drums and there's other things, but I would say 350, 360, 370 is what you want to get familiar with. And the formula I'm using is 1.7 seconds times their MS. That's the distance that you're going to need to calculate or kind of guesstimate. You have heroes like Lestrax stun, so from click to actual stun with the cast animation and the stun delay, it's about 1.3 seconds. And so at 350 MS, that's 455 units that you have to plan ahead for. And then Lina stun, which is slightly faster, it's about 1.1 second from click to actual stun. So that would equate to about 385 units. You have to account for if you're moving at 350 MS. Heroes like Clockwork and Ancient Apparition with the missile and their that ultimate. So to give you some perspective, from diagonal to diagonal, the map is about 21,000 units long, and it'll take Clockwork and Ancient Apparition about 15 seconds to cast from one corner to the other corner. So the Ancient Apparition has a delay on his; it'll cast once and the second one will follow up. So it's about 15 seconds from cast time to actually hitting for both of them, approximately the same. So if you're shooting from one end to the other end of the map, like if you're bottom lane trying to hit something middle lane or something like that, I would plan for around 8 to 9 seconds delay, which is about 3,000 units. And again, the spells have a larger AoE, so they're a little bit more forgiving, but you also want to get familiar with, what 3,000 units look like and where they can move in 3,000 units. You have Pudge's Hook, which at maximum distance of 1,300, it's a 1.3 second delay, so if they're moving at 350 ms, you want to throw the hook ahead 450 units if you're trying to hook them at maximum range. And obviously, if they're halfway, then you're going to count for halfway less. So after a while, these you kind of get like a gut feel for this, but it's always good to know two distances. So one, 600 units. You have to know what 600 units look like. So that's sort of like the average for most cast delay spells. And then what 1,200 units look like. So 1,200 units is really important because that's the blink range, and that's also the range for that you can still get XP in. And again, 600 is the range for most heroes, and it's slightly out of tower range. So being familiar with those two distances will help you bridge the gap between being a good player and being a great player. And again, it is hard to try to judge all of these distances and in the game when there's so much going on. And I'm not asking you to look at every hero with an imaginary circle and try to calculate out the game. Like I said before, it's after a while you kind of get this gut feel for it. But if you're ever in the lobby, it is good to see what 600 units look like and see what 1,200 units look like and see some of the things that you can do by using the rangefinder. Hopefully this helps. Thanks for watching, everyone.